So in this video, we're going to talk about 3 shallowing methods to get that club pitching behind you in the downswing so you can rotate successfully through the golf ball. Any one of these will shallow the golf club and you'll find what one of these works better for your golf swing. So I'm Jonathan Chan with JChownGolf. Let's dive right into it. So the first one here is one that I've probably only mentioned once on my channel before, but is an extremely good shallowing method because it helps you hit the ball a lot further as well, which we know shallowing does anyway. And this is called left arm abduction in the downswing. Quite a technical term, of course, but let's make it simple. So all this pretty much is as you're going into the downswing, your left arm is pinning into your chest as you're turning down. So the left arm is almost going in this direction, this way, whilst your body is turning in the downswing. You can see by just me doing that with my other arm, that is creating that shallowing move as we see here. But this puts a great stretch through your lats as well. So if something's stretching, it's going to release and then create a lot of power going through the golf ball. Really good one. We see players like Rory McIlroy, for example, get this in there. Bryson DeChambeau talks about it a lot as well. The feeling of that left arm still staying there whilst he's turning his body, that gets it pinning into his chest there. So if I hit one here with a slow-mo, you're going to see how my body is turning and that left arm is almost doing this, going backwards. So we're going to talk about how to get it in there after this. So how do we get this in there? That squeeze is really what this is, that left arm squeezing into the chest as we're turning down. One thing, as you can see, I have to have good sequencing. That lower body and mid-torso has to turn and separate to be able to do this. I can't have an active arm swing or upper body rotational swing from transition to do this move. That left arm will get detached away from me. I'm not going to benefit from this. The club will not be shallowing, it'll be getting steep. My favorite way to work on this is resistance bands. So yes, of course, watched a lot on my channel. You know I love these. So as you might have seen before, I usually do it with both hands to separate the downswing, get the lower body, mid-torso turning. Upper body has to stay passive, as you can also notice. It's looking like it's going to fall down, doesn't it, the net? But to do this specifically, I'm just holding it with my left arm. So if I just hold it with my left arm, get up to the top of a makeshift top of the backswing here, and then turn. Obviously I'm holding on to something with resistance. I can't move it with my left arm now. So now that left arm is squeezing against my chest. I can really feel it. I'll show you from here. Really feel it squeeze into my chest as I'm going there. And that really creates a good sensation for it. We have to create the sensation to then replicate it over the golf ball there. So we could do it with resistance band, but we could also do it with absolutely nothing. We can do it by getting left arm, pinning it up against the chest with your right arm there, obviously for right-handed golfer. And now, as I'm turning, just like I showed you before, I'm now pinning this and pushing this left arm back into my chest with my right as I'm separating lower body, mid-torso. Brilliant. So we could be doing that. We could be doing just what I showed you. You could be at the driving range, bunch of these, do about 3 or 5 before your shot. Give it a few repetitions there with the golf club in your hand, replicating the same feel, and then go ahead and smack a ball with it. So, second one here. This is definitely the one you've seen on my channel before because it's so good, and this now targets the other arm. So you can shallow the golf club via your right arm as well. We all know on YouTube we love a right arm video. So this is right elbow getting in front of your body. The technical term of this is actually your trail shoulder going into external rotation. I like to view it just as your elbow getting in front of your body, because your trail shoulder is going to external rotation, your elbow is getting in front of you. So a very Ben Hogan-y move here, to where you can see me doing this. That club is shallowing out quite nicely. So doing that, yeah, shallow shaft. I see so many golfers do the opposite. Their trail arm, their elbows pointed behind, going into more internal rotation, which you can see will tip that shaft. It's such a common thing, seeing players like this in the downswing with that elbow just pointing behind. We need to do the opposite. rep it out. Get that trail arm in front of you. Let's do a slow-mo. Let's talk about how to do it. So my favorite drill for getting this into your golf swing, as absolutely, you know, for me, I like to get movements into your swings via drills, not just via conscious thought. And this is the nunchuck drill. So definitely seen this one on my channel before. How we do it, we grab the club head, we flip the club over to where that shaft is on the right hand side of my right forearm. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to rotate up to the top. And now, as you can see, I'm grabbing the grip with my left hand. I'm turning in the downswing, a good sequence, and I'm pulling this club and the shaft, I'm pulling it in front of me. So you can see as I'm pulling it in front of me, that's getting my right shoulder into that external rotation that we're talking about. And that's, as we know, the simple term of it, getting that elbow in front of me. So I could also have a little movement as well, rotating through the golf ball. What you're going to notice here, guys, like I'm noticing right now, you stretch out your shoulder a lot. So if you feel a massive amount of stretch here in your shoulder joint, that's telling you that it's a little bit of mobility of why you're not doing it already. But of course, what's going to fix it then? This drill, because it's going to stretch it out, it's going to get you more mobile. It's a great one to do. And again, it's something just like the last one. You don't need to hit a golf ball to do. The time of filming this, it's winter time in the Northern Hemisphere. Not all of us can get out onto a golf course at the moment and play golf. So having drills that are super effective to do at home, which to be honest, most really effective drills are without golf balls. So you don't need to be hitting golf balls to improve at this. But let's say if you can get to the driving range, hit some balls, like we said before, do this a few times. So let's say 3 to 5. Feel that same feel before with a golf club in your hand before you hit the shot a couple times. And then here we go. Boom. It'll be way easier to implement into your swing. So the third shallowing method here, and this is one that is very popular with golfers who follow, let's say, someone like George Gankas, for example. This is the one he's really brought into the forefront, and this is leaving your hands and arms up at the top of your swing whilst you're turning and pivoting down into the downswing. So this is very similar to the left arm abduction, very similar to the first one there, because that's what this will create a little bit. But we know loads of golfers out there are far too active with their upper body in transition. They're trying to kill the golf ball from the top of the swing, getting very active with their arms, pulling down the shaft. That creates a steep shaft. So if we get up to the top of the swing and we leave the club up here with nice, light and loose hands, I turn the rest of my body, you can see how that club is naturally just going to shallow out. That gravity is going to hit the center of mass of the club and pitch it behind you. So this is a huge one because this really gets the shallowing movement to happen very natural. We see a lot of players do this. A lot of touring players who have always shallowed the golf club have done it this way, because a lot of them out there have never thought about shallowing the golf club, but they do it because their sequencing and how they move in transition is so good. But we know not every golfer does that, that's for certain. So getting it up the top, feeling really nice, light and loose, turning into the downswing. So let's see one here. It's going to look like I'm doing both of the two previous methods in this, but that's why this one's so good, because it gets you doing all the other shallowing methods quite nicely. So let's hit a ball and let's talk about how to do it. Okay, so is there a drill we can do to encourage this? And of course there is. And again, it's without a golf ball, so perfect for the time of year that this is being filmed at. So the drill to do this, you could get up to the top of your swing and you get up to it with either of your arms. You only do it with one arm. So let's do it with my left. Let's go up to the left because this will help with the abduction as well. Let's go up to the top of the swing. Now what I do, get your palm and put your palm of your right hand on the bottom of the grip. So if you're doing it with the other hand, you do it like that. So now what we're doing, we're going to turn the downswing. But what we're doing at the same time here, because this is going to help us leave our hands and arms up, of course, but I want to put no pressure into my palm as I do this. So this is going to encourage that nice light and loose feeling, because if we can be light and loose there, it's going to encourage gravity to have a bigger effect on the center of mass of the club, which is going to pitch it behind. Because if I put too much pressure into that whilst I'm turning down. You're going to see I'm really trying to put as much pressure into my palm, and the club is steepening. So no pressure, leaving the hands and arms up, nothing into that right hand. You can see how that club's going to shallow. So that same feel, then get up to the top, really exaggerate it. So this is going to be way more shallow than you would ever want to get. So really from there, almost I can feel when I'm exaggerating this, that the club is really getting almost loose in my hands. But again, I want to exaggerate the feeling I'm trying to implement more than I actually want to do. Otherwise, the brain won't know what it's got to do. It's got to know through exaggeration. So now let's hit one and we'll see. So there we go. There are 3 shallowing variables that you can implement into your golf swing to get that center of mass pitch behind you. Why do we want to shallow the golf club? So we can turn better through the golf ball, utilize our rotation more. So there are more methods than that. There absolutely are. And there are ones in there that will be more suited for your swing as an individual. And this is where I'm making a course. I'm in the planning stages of it now, of a shallowing guide. So just like I've got my ultimate guide to rotation in the downswing, which I'll put a link down in the description if you want to pick it up, I'm going to make an ultimate guide to shallowing the golf club. Might not be called that, but it will be something exactly similar to it. All the variables in there and how to get it into your golf swing and how to know what one is right for you or not. And a good practice structure to put on there. And for you guys who have, let's say, been wanting to get the ultimate guide to rotation and downswing, but at the moment it's only available on SKILLEST app, on the app version of SKILLEST. It's not available on the website. I will be uploading, once I make this course, to a website that's specifically for courses, but I'll still have it on SKILLEST as well. So if you guys want to watch the courses on a bigger screen, because it can be hard watching it on your phone, there will be somewhere for you to do that. And also what I'm going to do, I have my online lessons and I have monthly subscriptions for those online lessons. So you can have as many lessons as you want. But what I'm going to do once I put these courses onto the other site is I'm going to make those courses free for my monthly subscribers on there. So if you have the SKILLEST app, which is where the lessons are from, you'll be able to get those for free. But if you're not a subscriber to my online lessons, it'll be on the other website as well, which I will choose at the time. I do not know what website I'm going to put it onto yet, but I will put it onto one of them so you can watch it. Bigger screen, be a lot more immersive. So, if you enjoyed the video, guys, click that like button if you want more golf instruction just like this. Hit the subscribe button and hit that bell button to be notified every time I put out a video. So, do these shallowing methods, any one of them, and you're going to shallow the golf club a lot easier.